Hey everyone, this is our first travel vlog to update you, family and friends about our latest adventure. If you've just stumbled across this YouTube clip, welcome to our lives. My wife Wendy and I live a less than usual lifestyle. We spend part of our year in northern Japan, where I work as a ski guide and instructor, and Wendy works for a property management company. She can work online and remotely, so it doesn't matter where we are, she can keep going with her job. And for the time that we're not in Japan, we're travelling somewhere, or we're at home in Australia and travelling somewhere. So now we're living in a motorhome and travelling in outback Queensland. How did we end up in a motorhome? It's a good question. It's got a couple of answers. Firstly, Wendy doesn't like the cold. We had planned to go and visit friends in the Philippines during the Australian winter. I know there's some okay surf over there as well. Then the plan changed to perhaps going and spending more time in Bali. We could stay there for longer, cheaper, and definitely better waves there. We decided to stay home in Australia instead. Unfortunately, we don't own any property back home in Coolum Beach, Queensland, so we're renting, but the renting situation, without being too political, is sort of getting out of control in Australia. So a logical solution came to buy a motorhome, live in it, and travel. So basically we're staying home on wheels. We decided to head north in the motorhome, up to far north Queensland, where it's warm and Wendy would be very happy. We had previously done that trip in a small yacht. That was another story. And we thought we could do the same trip, visiting all of the same places all the way up the Queensland coast, but this time from a land perspective. Unfortunately, when we started making plans of where we're going to stop on the way north, we soon came to the realization that there are a lot of people in this country who have the same idea, and so pretty much all the caravan parks and camping spots that we researched were all booked out, and were so until maybe the end of August. So we decided to head west, places we haven't seen before, an experience that neither of us have had before. So our current tentative plan is to head west, head up to Carnarvon Gorge, head up to Longreach, Winton, all of the historic outback Queensland sites, across to the Northern Territory, check out that part of the world, head south down through Alice Springs. Of course, we have to go to Uluru and Kings Canyon, down into South Australia, who knows after that. But we just want to end up back in Albury in New South Wales for the end of November, where we will park our motorhome and head back to Japan. Okay, so now we're 2 weeks into this motorhome adventure. So we'll give you a brief update on the travel so far. We've eased into motorhome living, a couple of hiccups along the way, but generally we're doing okay at the moment. Wendy's not really a camper or a motorhomer. She calls motorhoming camping. But it was her suggestion that we actually head west in our motorhome. And I think quietly she's enjoying this change of environment. Maybe not the camping so much. So here's our home on wheels. We'll give you a little tour. Come on in. Slightly upmarket from a tent, but as Wendy says, it's still camping. Glamping, that's it. All the modern cons: shower, toilet, comfortable bed, our dining room. We have a large screen TV. You can never have too many TVs. And we also have a small screen TV for when we're off grid. Spare bedroom for when guests stop over, or our extra storage area. So from beautiful sunny wintertime Coolum Beach, we changed the scenery, headed west to our first stop of Dalby on the Western Downs. The first thing that struck us about the changing scenery from the coast once we started heading west and over into the Western Downs was how flat everything was. Oh my God, the horizon went everywhere. Dalby was a comfortable first stop. The caravan park was clean, quiet, very conveniently located, right next to town, so we could walk over. It was only a 5-minute walk. Spent a couple of days in Dalby. We bought a large screen TV because, you know, we've just got to have that in our lives. And then we headed west along more flat, open country to Roma. Roma is apparently the original site of gas and oil exploration in Queensland. It had a little bit going for it. We enjoyed the stop there. It was such a different environment to what we're used to. And we stayed at the Roma Gun Club. Not that we're into guns, but it's a clay pigeon shooting club that has converted a big part of their land into a caravan park. It was very economically priced, a few kilometres out of town, so the e-bike came in handy. Roma had a little bit to offer. Riding around the streets of Roma on the e-bike in itself was a bit of an adventure. Does have a lot of bottle trees, and I think it's probably its main claim to fame now. The bottle trees were interesting. But we were told to go to the Roma drapery. As you can see from this, there is a lot of cloth, a lot of material. It just goes on forever. That was Roma. So back on the road and heading north. Our next stop was to be Carnarvon Gorge. We were looking forward to that. It had been very much hyped up in all conversations we'd had about it. The scenery changed as we approached Carnarvon Gorge and the whole national park there. We started seeing trees again, and then we got into the mountainous country of the Carnarvon Range. Stayed in the Carnarvon Gorge Caravan Park. It was 4 kilometres from the national park entrance and where the walking trails begin from. So out with the e-bike again and off we went. Carnarvon Gorge walk just starting. Beautiful morning.
Cold morning.
Cold morning. But it's a beautiful day for a walk. Sure, we'll get some nice scenery along the way and we'll share it with you. Shit. Yes, we're very happy that we went to Carnarvon Gorge. The walk was amazing. We walked about 23 kilometres through the gorge, took the side trails. It really is just a magical part of the world and such a different environment right in the middle of flat outback Queensland. Highly recommended. So from Carnarvon Gorge we've headed up to Lake Marraboon and Fairbairn Dam, which is about 20 kilometres out of Emerald. We've decided to stay here for a week or so just to chill by the lake. It's a pleasant place. There's not a lot of exciting scenery, but it is different, and this whole trip's all about seeing and experiencing environments that we haven't seen before. Our plan from here is to head up to the Gemfields, a place called Rubyvale, and not very far out of Emerald either. A couple of nights there, maybe we'll find a gemstone that'll pay for the rest of this retirement life. And then on to Longreach and Winton. These are the, I guess, best known outback Queensland locations, so we'll do the tourist thing there, but I'm looking forward actually to seeing some red earth and putting the drone up over outback Queensland. Stay tuned, it's all ahead of us, and you if you follow along.